Hi Taurus, how you guys doing today? Let's get right into things. It's going to be your general messages for the 23rd to the 31st. Because you believe August is almost over. The whole summer is almost over. Oh my gosh. So I feel like this week is going to be a lot of, it's a good vibe this week. First of all, not too much stuff going on in the sky beyond, what's always going on there. But on the 30th, we have Mercury going from Virgo, from your 5th house to your 6th house. Into Libra. So what does that mean? In your, especially at work, right? In your day-to-day work environment, your day-to-day environment in general, even having to do with your health, you're going to be very verbal, right? Mercury in Libra is a nice energy. It's very verbal, it's very fair, it's very balanced, but there can be some indecision on how to actually handle something or how exactly you feel about something regarding your health or regarding something having to do with a work decision. But kind of like backtracking to the beginning of the week, it's the 23rd. The moon's going to be in Pisces in your 11th house. The 11th house has to do with goals and gains, but it also has to do with like your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan. So it's going to be hanging out in there for a couple of days. And on the 25th, the moon goes into Aries in your 12th house of the subconscious. So your mind is going to be popping. It's going to be racing for a new beginning. You're just like very intuitively, right? In your subconscious, you're going to be looking at where are you limiting yourself, where have things not worked out in your life, and just wanting to make a lot of change. There's this like, come on, let's go kind of energy that really wants to happen those couple of days, right? 25th, 26th, and on the 27th, we have the moon is going to be exalted in you. In your first house of self. The moon is exalted in Taurus. So it's going to be in your first house, the 27th, the 28th, 29th. Guys, if you have to have any kind of conversation, that part of the week is the way to go. 27th, I'd say even through to the 31st. On the 30th, the moon is going to be moving into your second house of Gemini. And that second house has to do with money, income, work, what your values, material possessions, your work ethic, your job, what matters to you, right? And Gemini is a very sort of like very communicative energy. It's very mental in the mental realm. So you're really figuring things out for yourself in the most profound way right now. And things are just going to be more clear than they have been, which I really like for you guys right now. So that's going to be the mood for the week. And I'm decided to just kind of touch on the moon this week. I don't know if you guys like it. There's different areas of your life that the moon's going to be hanging in, that 11th, 12th, 1st, 2nd house. Those of you who know the houses. But even if you don't, that's what all of those energies mean. So you're going to be feeling this push to, in a very fair and balanced way, communicate what it is that you're wanting, you're needing, having to do with your work, having to do with your health, mental, physical, emotional. Some of you might be putting your foot down to get a pet as well. That Mercury in Virgo, communicating, right? In that 6th house, rather Mercury in Libra, is that 6th house has to do with pets as well. Okay, so what do we have here? Chaos and conflict, change tracks. Okay, where's the chaos and conflict? It's time to change. You have to make the change now, Taurus. Time to switch it up. Defend to the end, the worthwhile. Ooh, yes. Ooh, wow, these are really strong. All right, I'm going to wait to pull. I want to pull a tarot for each of these as well, but let me go through these first. So we have chaos and conflict. Change track. So figuring out where is chaos. It doesn't have to be so dramatic, right? Chaos and conflict sounds very dramatic, but you see on the horse, right? Where are things falling off, right? It's like shaking the dead wood off the tree. What's not working out? Where is there a lot of tension? Where do you feel like you're trying to fit a circle in a square? You need to change tracks instead of trying to continuously beat something into a space that it's just not meant to be in, and defend to the end the worthwhile. So if you feel like anyone's taking advantage of you, if you feel like something is just really unfair in your mind from your subjective point, whatever it is, wherever you're feeling that space, that needs to be looked at. All right, and we have temptation. So temptation, you're in this space. Oh, Taurus, some of you are going to be very tempted to say, the hell with this. I want brand new. I want to get out of here. Some of you are going to feel very tempted to go back to something toxic. Some of you are going to be very, very overwhelmingly tempted to do something out of maybe the ordinary for you, something that you didn't think that you would be able to do or that you had the nerve to do, right? But something's happening that's very fated. We have the fates. I didn't even realize this is because I try to look at the cards with you, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to these, and then it says do something different. Change tracks, do something different. Oh, and then we have begin to explore. Wow. Okay, something very fated is going on. You need to do something different. Relax the hold of darkness and be a cause. Lean into, if you're experiencing a dark night of the soul, certainly you're going to know that. For those of you who don't know that, if you feel like you're in a space where there is something going on in your life that you cannot get in front of, that you can't figure out, that no matter how hard you try, you're not feeling comfortable and you're not feeling happy, and that's a dark spot. You have to really kind of relax the hold that energy has on you and figure out the reason for it. And really lean into that to do some really beautiful problem solving. Clarifying that, we have the Fool, which indicates a brand new path. Fresh path, new perspective. Here we go. Fool's an awesome energy, right? This is Uranus. This is groundbreaking energy. I mean, it doesn't have to be so dramatic, but it could be, okay, it's time for me to take that new job. It's time for me to really look at this relationship because something needs to change. You know, it's time for me to look at where I live, right? Maybe I really just want to live somewhere different. Maybe I just want to move out of here, right? Any of those things would fall within that realm. But you're definitely at a fork in the road here. Clarifying that is begin to explore. Okay, so you're at a fork in the road. Okay, nothing wrong with that. We have those all the time. But now it's time to get real. Sit down and get very real. And I'm feeling, especially towards the, oh my gosh, just so much energy is going to be popping like the 23rd through the 26th. But try to do any sort of like exploring and sitting down and like getting your ducks in a row, doing some research, figuring something out in a very solid and practical way, like direct application from the 27th through the end of the month is going to be good for you to do that. Release the dark wound and let love live. And look at where are you holding yourself back? Where is the wound in you? Are you feeling held back from a relationship that didn't work out, from a job that didn't work out, from a family situation that made you feel really bad about yourself, or a friendship situation, whatever it is? It's time to release that and really let the love in, let the light in now. It's just time to stop spinning in a situation that was really, really painful for you at the end of the day. Really painful. And then we have the Three of Air. So the Three of Air is all about Three of Swords, guys. I mean, and you know, you could even see, right? She's holding her hands by her chest to protect herself, right? Because this is the Saturn and Libra energy. Something not feeling fair. Let's just like say that, because this could have to do with anything from heartbreak to the pain of a truth in any area of life, betrayal in any area of life, you just feeling really depressed about the situation that you're in right now, because there's clarity with the Three of Swords. You know, there is, and it's whatever confusion was going on is going to be gone. You're going to be in a position to start to move on so that you could heal, like real healing. And some of you maybe, don't be surprised if some of you may be feeling these sudden epiphanies of realizing that maybe you've been involved in something that is really not very good for you. And you're sort of not seeing the full scope of it until right now, right? And so now what, right? Now it's time for the healing. It's time for healing. All right, so let's move into general read, and then I'll pull on relationship. We'll pull for those of you who are separated at the end, like we always do. Okay, we have Temperance. So this could be for any area of your life. We got the Devil in the Tower. Hello. Oh, we got the Sun. We got the Lovers. Okay, we have some pretty nice major arcanas here. I'll give us some information. So we have the Temperance energy coming into this. So this is a very alchemical energy, right? In numerology, it's the Hierophant. So this could have to do with the situation pertaining to a marriage, pertaining to a serious relationship, or it could just have to do with the idea of expectations and the needing to conform to something. Now, some of you, if this is to do with career or money, this can indicate a focus on progressing forward in your work, some sort of decision or direction coming in. You might even be, this is a really nice energy for those of you having to do with career or money, especially if you're getting a new job. Because what this tells me is you're going to be dealing with somebody who is going to be very inspirational for you, who's going to be very patient, who's going to be kind of willing to openly onboard you without judgment, you know what I mean? So that's really nice for that. But the temperance energy really is about this cooperation and moderation and reconciling a situation in order for there to be a positive outcome, right? After what could have been, perhaps for some of you, a pretty challenging time period. But clarifying that, we have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is about choices and confusion. Lots of commitment issues going on here because there's a lack of clarity about what's fully going on. Well, you might feel like you don't have all the story. So you're really not sure what's real, what's not, and things feel up in the air. But you do feel like you're at the beginning stages of something. So beginning stages of a project, a job, a relationship, a new cycle within a current relationship, that family connection, whatever it is, but it is confusing you. With the Two of Swords, you're at an emotional stalemate right now, and you need to make a decision. You want to protect yourself, but whatever's going on here isn't going away. So you're really better off resolving it. Say what you think, right? A decision needs to be made about the future, and clarifying that, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a very auspicious energy for any area of your life, right? This is about happiness and contentment, getting what you want, money coming to you quickly, or you're at least shown how to achieve what you want for a foundation of stability. And you guys are going to be very, very focused on that, guys, with the moon in your first house in the 27th, 28th, 29th. Yes. The moon's exalted in you, but and you're able, you know what I like about the moon in Taurus is that I have my natal moon in Taurus. So I'm not saying this because of me, because this is different, because this is transiting. But what's nice about, well, just even actually the natal moon also means this. For those of you who have your natal moon in Taurus, there's this element of being able to make sure that your emotional needs are being met. And that's very important, where you are very pragmatic and practical about what it is that you need in order to feel that element of security, and whatever that means to you, right? So there is this new energy. Ace is always brand new. And then we have, so I mentioned the temperance in numerology is the Hierophant, and then we have the Hierophant under it. So yes, and in numerology, the Hierophant is the temperance energy. So we have a lot of temperance energy with the Hierophant here. So what is there a tempering of? Cooperation, moderation, right? Doing what's necessary in order to move something forward. Decisions coming in, meeting somebody positive. I'm loving this energy for you. So we have clarifying the Hierophant, we have the King of Cups, because this indicates there's a need to settle some sort of conflict, either within yourself, with somebody else, or maybe a little bit of both. But it's a nice energy. It is. It's Libra and Scorpio. So really this is about you following your heart at the end of the day. If you're a little conflicted about something, which I feel like you are, so we have the Seven of Cups and the King of Cups is under it. I feel like, you know, if you say you have to be very, very mindful, though, of figuring out some sort of solution to something. But you have to really trust yourself in this energy too. With the Page of Swords, like really rely on your intelligence, right? The Page of Swords is the personification of air. So some sort of useful information is going to come in, and something's going to be coming in, some sort of either offer, contract, some sort of information regarding a job, another agreement. You got the job, you got the house, you got the result of something, right? But something is useful to you, right? And once you get that information in, then you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with it. Now, clarifying that is the Devil, which is very interesting, right? Now, let's look at this a couple of different ways. As the Devil is Capricorn, and Capricorn does rule work. So that would make sense, right? If the new offer had to come in regarding work. Some of you are going to resonate with it like that. Others of you, the Devil can also indicate... the Devil is also, in numerology, the Devil is the Lover's energy. So the Lover's energy can mean a couple of things. If it has to do with career or money, this could be, you're facing a choice. Should I do this? Should I do that? What should I do? Should I take this? Should I not? What am I doing? And it's making the final decision based on the long-term objective and not just because you need the money or something like that. So that, if it has more to do with relationship, the devil energy, when we connect it to the Lover's card, because the devil energy is about imbalance, the Lover's energy is about the choice that needs to be made to work on imbalance. You understand? In order to have something work out, the imbalance in a situation needs to be addressed, whether it's in that relationship, that family situation, that job situation, whatever it is, the imbalance needs to be looked at. Absolutely. Okay? So these are the different ways. Like, it does seem like there's going to be some sort of realization. With the King of Cups and the Page of Swords, this could definitely be an aha moment. And a lot of you can be having this aha moment when it comes to what really matters to you, particularly because, again, on the 30th, 31st, we have that moon in the second house of things that matter to you. I mean, it's money, it's work, it's income, it's daily routines, it's your value system, it's what you value, right? So it's almost like you're not going to be able to not see that, right? Especially with that Gemini energy, and I'm connecting this to the Lover's energy, which is Gemini. I hope you guys are following me. I know I'm kind of like connected, like numerology, it's popping back and forth with the astrology and the tarot. Then we have the Tower. So the Tower, necessary surrender, right? In astrology, this is Mars. Mars is very, very concerned that we're on a rightful path at all times. And if we are shown red flags, think of like Mars is like... like this like annoying little friend on the side of the road who's always like, hey, you sure you should be in this? You sure? Is this like a long-term thing, right? And if he yells and yells and yells, and if you're not paying attention, he's gonna just not even bother with the red flags anymore. He's just gonna go in and take down whatever it is and take it away from you. And he does that out of care, believe it or not, right? And then what happens here is he takes you from the ashes of the Tower moment, and then he puts you on the Chariot. This is connected to the Chariot numerology. Chariot is a Cancer energy. It's that metaphorical home space. So basically, in other words, it's where you do belong. So something needs to fall down here in your life. There's got to be this necessary surrender that you need to release, and it's something that just was not meant for you, whether it was that marriage, that relationship, that family connection where you have to love them from afar, that job, whatever it is. There was something that's not meant for you over the long term, right? And there was that need there. But now, clarifying that, we have the Three of Cups, which is a very celebratory circle of support sort of jam. This is a very nice healing energy for anything, for relationship, for any sort of physical healing as well. When we have the Devil and the Tower, some of you may be stopping some sort of addiction. If you're doing that, congratulations, definitely sending you all my good energy for that. The Devil energy could also be realizing that you were dealing with a narcissistic personality and you want to end it there. But wherever the imbalance is, the imbalance ending. The imbalance might even be within you. We could also have internal Tower moments. So general message, let me give all of the interpretations. You're going to know if it's you. Where it's like suddenly you're like, wow, I can't do that anymore. I can't be in that thing anymore. I have to surrender what I've been exposing myself to, and it's time to totally revamp what it is that I want myself over the long term. And as you do that, you're going to be getting a lot of support. You are. And that's just what it is that you need to do. We have the beautiful Sun energy. This is gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, in numerology, this is connected to the Wheel of Fortune, which is a Jupiter energy, meaning that you've reached a turning point, Taurus, in something. So something very faded has come in, something needs to change, but something needs to be balanced, right? And then we have the actual Lover's energy, which, yes, in numerology, the Lovers is connected to the Tower, right? So something needs to be looked at once and for all, having to do with either that relationship, that friendship, that family situation, that job, and there needs to be balance, Tad, but everybody has to show up. If everyone's not going to show up, then it's not possible for it to work out, right? This is Archangel Raphael wants to bless us in the Lover's energy, but everyone has to show up equally so. So that's what I see for the general messages for the week. Pretty powerful, because we do have some powerful major arcanas here for sure. I mean, we have 6 major arcanas. You know, half of these are major arcana. Big change, looking at expectations, what matters to you, what matters, releasing the toxicity. So lots of powerful energy there for sure, I would say. All right, my friends. So let's move on to relationship. I'm going to do a 7-card ellipse with the traditional Rider-Waite, and I'm going to clarify with my baby Rider-Waite. How cute are those? A little travel deck. Oh, nice. Ace of Wands. Relationship. Oh, 7 of Swords. What's going on? Hold on. Okay. Tower. Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands here. Very auspicious energy, right? It just says this is like a new chapter of passion, a new chapter of, and this is in the past, right? So maybe you guys were separated, or maybe you guys were just in a downward trend in your relationship and you were just working on finding each other again. But it does seem like right now in the present moment, you're dealing with the 7 of Swords energy, which is, you know, could be literal, just literal thievery. Somebody could literally maybe they took your money or your stuff. I hope not, but that could be what this means. But it's dishonest and it's immoral and it's running away from the responsibility of the relationship. This could be somebody who has a really hard time understanding healthy boundaries, who doesn't really understand what not selfish means, you know what I mean? And you're just going to need all of your instincts to figure out the real truth of a situation. Like Taurus, honestly, especially like the 23rd and 24th, with that moon in Pisces, in the house of Aquarius, because in your 11th house, the house of Aquarius, I just feel like you're going to be very, very intuitive on those days. You're going to be very tuned in. So there's a very like futuristic energy there. So Uranus rules that 11th house, which is where Pisces is going to be with Neptune. Veil is very thin there for you, you know, the 23rd. And the thing is, in your 11th house, it's where your short-term goals are. So it's like what are you not seeing, or what are you intuiting, right? What are you vibing that doesn't feel right about what's going on in this relationship, about moving forward, right? Because there is this vibe, and I feel like you're very accurate and correct in vibing this, that there's more going on here, because there's a moon in Aquarius energy. Moon rules the emotions underneath, right? And Aquarius is all about out of the box and different, right? And it's just very interesting that I'm saying like the 23rd, 24th, that's Pisces is going to be, the moon's going to be in Pisces in your 11th house, which is the house of Aquarius. So the moon is going to be in Aquarius for you that day. Those 2 days, rather. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles as the near future. So 5 of Pentacles is really more of a psychological energy where you feel tested. So there could be a testing of resources. You could be struggling with some sort of financial issues that's impacting as a result of the relationship, or fear of financial issues, where you're in the space where you're needing to figure out new options that will help you see a way forward. And I have to tell you, I feel like you will figure it out for what it's worth. I really do. If this is coming up, just because, you know, knowing what that exalted moon in your first house, and then the moon going into Gemini in your second house of money, you're going to be figuring it out if that's a thing for you. Also, if it has nothing to do with money, this can indicate you losing the security of a home, or fearing that. This could also indicate the pain in the aftermath of a breakup, or somebody passing that you cared about very deeply. But it's very important to understand here is that you have a lot more support than you realize right now. You just might not be coming from the direction that you would most like it to come from, but you you do still have a lot of energy of support here. Okay, so the advice here is Queen of Wands, Taurus, step into your power. Right? I mean, this is a very strong energy that really does make things happen, you know. It can really, really energize the relationship by you stepping into your power and you taking control over not only your emotions, but what's really going on here, you know. Now we have external to you and others. We have the King of Pentacles. So you might be with somebody in a relationship that's, you know, by all rights, pretty generous, right? They like being in a settled relationship, all of that. They're, you know, on paper they look good like that. But when it comes to things like maybe sharing money or being willing to make any adjustments in how they handle something, right? Because Pentacles is not only money, it's also mental, physical, and emotional connection. And with the King of Pentacles energy, it's like, I'm going to give you, I'm going to be here for you, I'm here, but you can't have my money, or I'm not changing for you. Like, you're going to have to just accept me the way I am. Or even if they're saying that they recognize some sort of issue in this area, it being kind of challenging to get them off that mark could certainly be that, okay? Now, what is your hope? Well, what is your fear? And therefore, it's a block is the Star. I mean, you really want something to, this is an energy of hope and guidance and a change for the better after a difficult time, right? You really want that, right? But you're fearing this at the same time. So the fear can end up showing up as giving up too easily, right? Or you're feeling very blocked, or you're very maybe, now you might be, or they might be a little too attached to some sort of fantasy of something while overlooking the details of the reality of the situation. Or you might even feel pulled into a false sense of security in something that truly has no foundation and very little chance of success. You know, and because of that, it's like your challenge could be that you just sort of don't feel very supported right now in relationship, right? Having to do with that. And so we have as the final outcome energy, the Tower. I just feel like there's a lot of change going on for you that is very, very necessary. The Tower doesn't have to be so dramatic. It doesn't mean like your whole life is falling apart, though it can. You know, it depends on what's aspecting your natal chart. Guys, please, I can't emphasize enough. These are general messages. I don't know you. I don't know what your natal birth chart is or how the energies that are passing right now are speaking to your natal placements. That makes all the difference. But for the general archetype of Taurus, there is a lot of change going on. And there's a very strong desire. Again, there's a numerology. This is a Chariot, moving away from anything that's toxic and just not really wanting to continue in something that you know is ultimately not right for you, even if it's very painful, right? Even if you sort of knew, again, the silly red flags that we all know go on, right? We all know. And we all decide, we all make choices to ignore the red flags sometimes because it's just easier. No, the Devil again, for goodness sake. Okay. Let me just pull these and then we'll... Yeah. I feel like you're dealing with somebody who does not want to move off their mark. They have some sort of imbalance. And this could go from, again, narcissistic, egocentric tendencies. Maybe they don't struggle with that. Maybe they're struggling with some sort of addiction. Or they just can't get out of their own way. Anxiety, depression, unchecked, untreated. Could be anything. Anything that would end up shackling the relationship. You know? Clarifying that, we have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands does indicate a new cycle, but you might be dealing with somebody who's really immature about how to move forward. But they sort of have this Pollyanna vision. They might have they might be a player, right? They might not know how to put on their big boy, their big girl pants for the relationship. They might not be sure of exactly what's going on. And then we have, that's being clarified by the King of Wands. It's like, yes, somebody who sort of has their mind wrapped up in this idea of perfectionism. That like, oh, this isn't going to work because of A, B, and C. And it has to be like this. right? It's this idea of perfectionism getting in the way. And the thing is, with this energy, it shouldn't get in the way. This is an energy where you should be able to express your ideas and go after what you want and not worry about whether you're enough or they're enough or whatever like that. And it's sort of like the energy of releasing that idea of perfectionism that allows you to be a freer spirit in the relationship. Clarifying that is the justice energy, which is about coming up with a win-win situation, right? I mean, this is about checking to see if your emotional needs are being met, and if they're not, the justice energy, getting it does indicate that you, even if things feel sort of like a little tricky right now, they're going to end up going in your favor. It does seem like that. Clarifying that, we have the King of Pentacles. I mean, there's no question here that there is this energy that either is refusing to change. It could have to do with money. It could have to do with money and other things. But it's somebody who's sort of like very stuck in, right? Because, you know, it's an Aries in you. It's an Aries in Taurus. Taurus, you know, guys, I love you. My moon's in your sign, you know, all of that. But there could be a stubbornness, right, about the Taurus energy. And when it's there with Aries, Aries is very much, I want what I want when I want it the way I want it. So I feel like you're dealing with an energy kind of like, no, this is the way it's got to be. And then we have the final energy here. We have the Five of Cups, which is about loss and leaving and sadness before you feel really ready for it to end, even though you're going to be able to deal with it. It's like the fact that you know something is not right is going to win out over any pain that it's going to end up serving up for you, any fear that you're having, anything like that. It's the knowing that you can't mitigate somebody else's stuff. You can't, no matter how hard you try, you can't. They could give you lip service, whatever. You can only fix your own stuff. So it's just something to think about there. It does look like there's going to be some sort of changes in the relationship realm. Now, keep in mind, we do have that Mercury and Libra energy happening at the end of the week on the 30th, when the moon is going to be in your second house of value system in Gemini. You're going to be very in your mind. It's going to be going a million miles an hour. You're going to feel very open to communicating. But you could also feel at the same time very confused in your mental space, but only because that Mercury in Libra can be confused. Very equitable in conversation and very agreeable, you know, in external conversation, but your mind might be like, I'm not sure. Should I do this? Should I do that? So just cut yourself a break if you're feeling that in any way. Let's pull a few cards for those of you who happen to be in separation right now. Okay. Okay, so my heart always comes back to you even when I don't want it to, and that's being clarified by healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. I don't know if I can ever be exactly who you expect me to be. Time passes, but my feelings don't change, even though you no longer trust me with your heart. Paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, enjoying each other, enjoying one another, oneness. Conflict is a necessary step in the growth process. Be patient, this will pass. Somebody else just got this one. I think Aries did. I cheated you out of real love. I ghosted you because of my own insecurities. Somebody wants to talk to you, interested, conversing more. Wait a message arrive, text, call, email. Seeing you reminds me of things I know deep down, but that I struggle to deal with. All right. So it does seem like somebody's trying to work on themselves, but it's not easy. They're having a bit of a hard time with it. It does seem like. Okay. Let's just see what we have here. Somebody wants a new beginning. We have the Knight of Wands, right? This is like firing up their ambitions. This is about like proposals coming in, things speeding up, locks being lifted, decisions coming in, right? And the Ace of Cups is a brand new beginning. For some of you, it's falling in love. For others of you, if this is like not your first rodeo, right, in and out of relationship, this does indicate strong love and support. Some of you might even be dealing with some sort of pregnancy, talking about fertility, getting pregnant, something like that. And then we have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands energy is a nice energy, Mars and Aries, making plans and moving forward in partnership, you know. But there are two aspects to the situation. You have to figure out what the right thing to do is. So that's something that is going to need to be worked through. That makes sense. Okay, my friends, that's what I have for you for this week. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.